It is a first for Northwest Arkansas, a new sports marketing and management agency. 5 News reporter Parker Abel's in the studio now to tell us more about this company. Parker?
Darren, it's called Pinnacle Sports Ventures, a company planning to sign athletes for their future both on and off the court. And today they got their very first signee, who just so happens to be Razorback royalty.
I would categorize PSV as Northwest Arkansas's first and premier sports management and marketing company.
Pinnacle Sports Ventures is open for business with its foundation built on values and faith. President and CEO Chad Campbell says those are the keys to giving their athletes the support they need to succeed.
To make sure that I look out for the athlete's best interest and provide, the services that go along with that. But ultimately, this is to make sure that the athletes that are under the PSV umbrella are prepared for life and prepared for life after athletics.
And Thursday afternoon, the daughter of Hog legend Scotty Thurman became their first signee.
The whole vision here is giving back, and like he said earlier, we're collaborated with the National Food Bank, and so I want to be able to take part in those kind of things and be able to help people and give back to different people.
Romani Thurman says she wants to make sure people know her as more than just a Razorback volleyball star.
I think as a student athlete, a lot of people just think that we just play sports and go about our days and go to school, but I think it's super important to be able to pour into those people that are pouring into you and coming to watch you and supporting you and giving to you.
Campbell says he believes PSV and the Thurman family are the perfect match.
He's been involved in sports and coaching, and I've kind of been, involved in the NIL scene. And what happened was very organically, the friendship turned into the business opportunity.
Scotty Thurman says this is the best avenue to help his daughter succeed in all phases of life.
Where she can connect with people for not only future opportunities, but also utilize the platform to make a difference.
However, he will be right there by her side through it all.
Just trying to help her to, accumulate those relationships, but also be able to be a help and be a resource herself, but also to hopefully be able to obtain some resources. And me being a student athlete before here, understanding what the platform is, just glad to be a part of it.
Campbell tells me that Romani is just the first of many to sign with his company, with many more announcements on the way soon. Parker Abels, 5 News.
All right, Parker, thanks. A new report suggesting the city of Fort Smith does not have enough water to supply the proposed prison in Franklin County. Documents obtained by 5 News show the state asked the city about providing water to that proposed prison. Fort Smith then asked an engineering firm out of Van Buren to determine if the city has the capacity to meet the prison water demand. Engineers said the current system cannot adequately supply the proposed prison during times of high demand. Data also showed the city is already passing demands this year during peak times. You can read our full story on the report on our website at 5newsonline.com. People in Bentonville got a chance to give feedback tonight on plans for the city's new Unified Development Code. The city says the code will combine the city's zoning and development rules into one document to help guide future growth.
It's the zoning and development rules for the city. It says, how tall can a building be? How close can a building be to a road? How do we process subdivisions? How do we lay out the street grid in regard to lots, blocks, streets, connectivity between development sites?
City says the community comments will be used to update the draft code, and more review sessions could happen throughout the rest of this year. Protests gathered tonight in Fayetteville in front of the Washington County Courthouse. It was called the Good Trouble Lives On protest. Hundreds were there were held across the country today. The protest was named after a term coined by the late Congressman John Lewis, who coined the term for nonviolent protests during the civil rights era. Protesters gathered in front of the courthouse to protest against current White House policies.
I'm out here supporting our cause, and we've got to get rid of the liars. We are out there for everybody. Those who can't be here, those who want to but are afraid. We are here. And we're not going away.
A rally also held in Fort Smith. Protesters marched starting on Garrison Avenue and ending at the Sebastian County Courthouse tonight. President Trump, meanwhile, has been diagnosed with a common vein condition, and the House is expected to approve billions of dollars in cuts to foreign aid and public broadcasting that the president is seeking. But the action is being held up over an unrelated controversy.
The White House announced President Trump was diagnosed with a vein condition known as chronic venous insufficiency after he noticed swelling in his legs. In a memo read by the press secretary, the president's physician said Trump underwent a thorough health examination and remains in excellent overall health.
Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease.
The condition, more common in older adults, occurs when veins in the legs struggle to bring blood back up to the heart. CBS News' Dr. John LaPook says there are ways to reduce its effects.
You know, it's generally simple things like elevating your legs, having compression stockings, walking around, getting those muscles contracting.
Here on Capitol Hill, the Republican-led House is working to pass President Trump's request to claw back about $9 billion in previously approved spending on foreign aid and public broadcasting.
If this comes to pass, then we'll have to make some difficult decisions.
The measure was in a holding pattern Thursday over files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein as lawmakers push for more transparency.
We obviously want the files released. We want every name that's on there to be held accountable.
The House has faced a Friday deadline to pass the measure. Erica Brown at CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Meanwhile, we spoke with local public radio station KUAF about the proposed budget cuts. The station based in Fayetteville says it provides essential services to the public, including emergency broadcasts.
75 emergency alerts just in the last fiscal year. So these are all services on which people depend, and what public radio provides for free to all with no paywall.
Station leaders say that should federal funding cut, it would take an estimated $264,000 to replace lost services independently. Statement from Arkansas PBS says in part for nearly 60 years, Arkansas PBS has been a trusted source of learning, inspiration, and connection for communities across the state. We understand how much our viewers and supporters value the programming and resources we provide. We look forward to continuing those efforts. After severe flooding last week, the Boys and Girls Club of Sequoyah County now without a building. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach has more now on what they need to get back to serving the community.
The Boys and Girls Club of Sequoyah County is still facing damage from heavy flooding on July 8th. They tell me the building is no longer safe to enter, and now they're turning to the community for help.
The organization closed its doors last week after floodwaters damaged the floors and uncovered asbestos in the building materials. The club says it now needs a brand new facility to continue serving local kids.
Our new facility is going to cost a total of $3.5 million. We have a third of that already through ARPA funds. So we need to raise $2.5 million.
Staff members say the community has already stepped up, including a local church that is providing the space needed for summer programs.
The organization tells me they need $3.5 million to fund the new facility. And despite the large price tag, every penny counts. In Sallisaw, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.